David Bellevue, I hope I am saying his name correctly. He said a comment. He says, how is the wood frame of the greenhouse holding up? Is moisture a problem? All right, well, let's go over that. Thank you, David, for that comment. We got a little dusting last night, not much, just a tiny more amount of snow. Oh, I'm done with the snow. We'll go into the greenhouse. Let me show you what I got going on in here. Turn this fan on. That fan I have is for circulation. It rolls off the bottom. And this is a cold greenhouse. We're sitting at 38, 36, 37, something like that. I also have a fan way up at the top there that kind of moves the heat out in the summertime and keeps the moisture out, really. Let me show you the wood frame itself. It's been about 5 years now, I think, since I've had my greenhouse. I just took the grapevines off, if you saw that, winter pruning. And you can see it's got, this is cedar, western red cedar. It's got some, I don't know, age spots, I guess you would say, from moisture content or whatnot, but it's still fairly brown. I mean, if this is new cedar color, this cedar color isn't much different. It's got maybe just a tint of gray, but not a whole lot. It's holding up really well. I mean, it's pretty sturdy, pretty solid. Shake it good. You know, like anything, you're going to get some weathering, some discolorations of water that was on there from moisture that drips down over different seasons or whatnot. But it's pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with it. I got to say, there's a few things. There are a few things that I probably would have done a little differently. But, you know, it's a learning process, and a lot of times, you know, we don't like to share our failures. Nobody wants to be known for failures, but I will tell you, you know, my successes first off. Stainless screws. I use stainless screws on pretty much everything I did. And I used cedar boards. I went down to the hardware store and I just got decking boards. It was, they call it 1.25 inch by, oh no, I didn't use those. I used straight 2x4s. That's what I used. I used 2x6 cedar boards, and I ripped them on the table saw down to, I think they're half inch strips. So it comes out to be 1.5 inches wide by 1/2 inch, and then I doubled those up with a 1-inch spacer in the middle, and then 2 more on the outside. Glued them up. I used Tight Bond 2 when I glued them, and I don't see any issues with the glue. I mean, here's some that doesn't look like it's tight, but right in here, I mean, that's pretty tight. All this stuff is tight. So I guess you could use a Gorilla Glue if you thought maybe the moisture was a concern. But, I mean, get rid of that grapevine stuck in between. I have to work on that. But you can see, I mean, this stuff is pretty tight. It doesn't seem like it's falling apart in any way, shape, or form. I'm pretty happy with it. A few things I would do differently. I might address this top area here where I just used those Simpson roofing ties or truss ties. I might do something different. I painted them brown. They're silver. You can get them at the hardware store. But I don't know. It seemed to work all right. I just screwed them in on each side. That worked all right. And these boards here, these are called purlins. And then everything else I used is cedar. So this is a cedar board, cedar board, cedar board. Everything I used is cedar. The bottom, I put in a 2x4 all the way around, a little wall, a little stem wall, and just tack some boards on there vertical because, you know, I wanted a little extra height. And I did the little board on the back. This greenhouse I have facing to the south. We are on the 47th parallel, zone 8B, up in Washington State, on the western side of Washington State. But I face this directly south, so south is that way, north is that way, and I kind of like that. I know you're not getting the optimal amount of sunlight because the sun's going to come across all day long, but in the summertime, I think it really it kind of helps because otherwise it would be like 120, 130 degrees in here, and as it is, it gets over 100 in here. So I think that was a wise choice. Also, I put these grapevines in, and they come up the walls on the inside, which really helps hold down the heat in the summertime. It's like a natural screen. So I do like that part. There's a lot of pluses, a few minuses that I would probably tweak, but be my first time, you know, I'm really pretty happy with it. All my benches here, they're all cedar. I run everything with cedar because, you know, I was worried that it was going to be a moisture content problem, but really, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad in here. You put some fans, like I said, one up top and one down below. You get that circulation going, and it's really not an issue. I'm really happy with the build, and yeah, I definitely do it again. I really like the plastic polycarbonate panels, 4 foot wide, 10 foot long. I had to go to Greenhouse Supply for that. There is one issue on this wall, which is the south-facing wall. When I cut this, starting at the top and coming down, I didn't seal the ends, the top ends off very well, and I think moisture has gotten in. You can see there's moisture on the inside of the polycarbonate tubes that run up and down. It's just on this one right here. So, you know, in the future, I would definitely maybe put some silicone or some kind of a sealant on the cut edge, keep any moisture out. You do have maintenance on this stuff. I mean, I got to go in, I'm waiting for it to get above freezing to come in and clean all the green, slimy stuff off the inside of the polycarbonate, and that's due mostly to the grapevines. They sat there all summer, fall, and even into the winter. So those will have to be washed down, and I just use a dishwashing liquid, you know, light solution, and rinse it off. And not really a problem. You just do it once a year. Same with the outside. I just use a big brush and put it on a pole and hose it down. And it cleans up pretty nicely. Pretty nicely. I'll show you the outside. The outside, I used a storm door. It had glass in here, but the glass broke off pretty quickly, so I just put in an extra piece of this polycarbonate, and I like that. On the outside, I went with galvanized roofing, And it's a good look. It's a good look. On the end caps, both ends, I strapped a piece of lattice, cedar lattice board, and secured it on both ends. But you can see right here how this is open, and that's a mistake on my part. I should have done a better job, and I'll probably have to take this panel off, figure out a way to get that moisture out of there or replace it with a different panel. But yeah, that was an issue. But yeah, like I said, I'm happy with the build. I just put a band of pavers down the middle to walk on, and everything else is gravel on both sides. And I didn't build any raised beds. I just used these milk crates, and I put a little grocery bag liner in there, fill them up with potting soil, and I grow peppers in here, and tomatoes, some onions. I just planted some radish in here. But a lot of overwintered plants. I have a banana. My geraniums are overwintering. Plus all my divisions. So yeah, pretty happy with the build. I hope you guys want to build one of these. I think they're pretty easy. Just need some wood clamps, you know, for gluing. Table saw is very helpful. And the price of wood has gone up. I think for all the lumber that I spent on this was about $1,000 at the time. I'm sure it's at least double or maybe even triple that now. Yeah, it's probably at least double the price of lumber, especially red cedar. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for your comments. Keep commenting. I appreciate all the views. You guys have a great day.